you want to make content that actually grows your LinkedIn account and gets you clients, then in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how anyone can do it. The reality is that LinkedIn has changed, but it actually favors smaller creators. Truthfully, most people don't have a content problem. They have a positioning problem. And that's why no matter how consistent you are, posting content every single day won't give you the results you want. Look, I've got 280,000 followers on LinkedIn, millions of views, hundreds of viral posts. But what people know me for is for spending hours on LinkedIn every single day over the last 3 years, researching, analyzing, and obsessing over every single shift I see. And right now, I'm watching creators skip 3 fundamental steps that separate content that gets buried from content that actually grows their followers and converts them to customers. And to have this happen to you, you need to understand 3 core things: hooks, distribution, and positioning. See, what's holding you back is in posting more, is that you're missing the framework that makes your content actually work. Because while your LinkedIn feed and even YouTube may be filled with viral tactics that sound sexy, the key is in the strategy behind why certain content works and why, not just what to post. Your favorite creators know this, and it's why they invest thousands of dollars into strategists like myself to decode this for them every single week. There is no one-size-fits-all approach, but after analyzing thousands of posts and working with top creators and entrepreneurs, I've identified the different patterns that across different niches work, and I'm about to break them down for you right now. Step number 1 is to forget everything you know about content, algorithms, and virality, because LinkedIn is changing. There is an oversaturation of overly perfect and clickbaity AI-generated content right now. Every post looks the same. People have built GPTs based on top creators' posts like myself and use them to just copy and paste. But market sophistication has also increased, and people's BS radar is higher than ever. Like, truly, there is not a single day I don't see people calling this out. Which means we are at a turning point. The old playbook of viral hooks and engagement bait is dying, and the creators who adapt first are going to dominate the next phase of LinkedIn. Look, people on LinkedIn want to know one thing: what am I going to get from this? Whether you answer that question with a perfectly formatted hook or a ramble of 3 lines, it does not matter. What matters is that you prove within the first few lines that their time investment will pay off, and then you actually deliver on that promise. Now, for those that have watched my content before, you would have seen me talk about optimization of hooks, so it's mobile friendly, short, 8 words, etc. But this is no longer a necessity. In fact, the posts that I see performing the best right now are the ones that sound like actual human conversations, messy, real, and unpolished. So even though I personally still optimize for all of it, I wouldn't recommend focusing too much on this yet if you're trying to get more impressions, reach, and clients. What I focus on is on authority signals. See, LinkedIn's algorithm isn't looking for more punchy one-liner hooks. It's looking at you, your content, your profile, and the people who engage with you. And even down to the other micro levels such as your comments. These signal whether you are the type of person your ideal customers would trust with their business challenges or someone that just scroll past. And LinkedIn uses these actively. Look, there are entrepreneurs and creators who literally post, "Here's what I learned today," and get 1,000 likes there and there. But here's the thing that no one is actually saying. Their name is the authority signal, not their content. And how you do it for yourself isn't by copying their hook, their template, their carousel, whatever it is, but by authority signaling in your content. In your hook, you want to create the illusion that you know something that people don't, or that you have the missing piece of the puzzle that they need to make something click. Let me show you exactly what I mean. Look at this post. This is following traditional LinkedIn advice perfectly. It's got the picture, the perfect hook, it's even got the winning infographic. But why is it not performing well even though it's got every single winning element? Well, it's missing the how I know this, or more so something like, why can you trust me that I know this type of angle? It's also missing a personal anecdote to add to the storyline. It's missing the proof that the person has actually done the thing that they're talking about. And this looks like something that blends in with every other generic business advice post that we see on LinkedIn. Now, even looking at her profile, she's got the winning elements of a successful LinkedIn profile. The title, the achievements, the businesses. Her content isn't reflecting that though. The solution? Let's rewrite this instead. Love this. I think this reflects the idea that she's a mother, like we can see it in the photo. It's also showing a personal side to her. So saying, I used to feel guilty every time I'd say no. Then it burned me out by 30. I couldn't work. So we're also giving a time frame, and a feeling of what happened and how it felt so people could also relate. Again, using her photo is a lot better than using an infographic, because this also indicates to people that she is a human rather than another AI infographic like we keep on seeing online. I don't think there's anything specifically wrong with these, by the way. I know I hone in on not doing them, but I do honestly believe that toning them down and increasing the volume of personality allows people to create a true personal brand that they are actually searching for. Now we use the rule of three here, like sort of like, again, relatable. We actually took some from original post, and then I actually toned it down to 3 tips to keep this very much so specific, but not too educationally, because saying no is quite obvious in itself, right? And what I wanted to do here is position her as an authority, but not as an authority in saying no, but more so an authority at being a legend, right? That is the idea of personal branding. You have to decide what angle you want to take with your educational content and the storytelling content. Every single piece of storytelling content, it's a rule of mine, should always educate, but not overly do it, right? You don't have to over-educate to make a story make sense. Like here, that's why we did that, because we wanted to pan out the story so it felt enough. The idea of saying no was clear. We don't need the hacks. I'm just gonna say no next time because you showed me how to say no. You've inspired me to say no. I don't feel guilty anymore. That is the vibe that we're going for. I've done educational posts many times. We can do another one later. So now it looks much better. She looks like an authority. She doesn't need a Forbes 30 under 30 title. She doesn't need to be the Google CEO. She just needs to be positioned as a CEO. And as a mom. We didn't have to go get her another Forbes 30 under 30 title, or we didn't have to wait until she was the CEO at Google or at a massive company where, you know, people believe that you need these massive awards to be an authority. She didn't need that, and you don't need that either. We just used what we had to our advantage and created the perception of authority that works immediately, not after years of building a personal brand. Now, if you want to learn exactly how to write content like I just did above, then you can check out Content Code. It's my writing course. It has every single framework that I use to write content fast, using psychology, cognitive biases, and other winning frameworks that work every single time and work so seamlessly on LinkedIn. I'm going to leave the link for it in the description, and while you're down there, if you liked how I rewrote that post and you want to be next, then comment your name and your LinkedIn URL so I can roast your content in the next video. Now let's get into the second most critical step to manufacture visibility, and most people aren't going to like me for this, but I must mention it. Last week in a call inside of my private mentorship, one of my members came to the call thinking she had a hook problem, but in reality, she had a distribution problem. See, LinkedIn is a connection to connection game, a visibility game. The entire platform is built on the idea of networking. There's first connections, there's second connections, and there's third connections. The more connections you have, the wider your pool of people who can actually see your content and, most importantly, trust you. I looked through her engagement that day and she was making 2 crucial engagement mistakes. Mistake number 1 is that she was engaging, so commenting on profiles who would never reciprocate. So she was engaging with people who weren't a profile content fit. Let me break this down for you. See, engaging with top creators is one of the key ingredients I've mentioned in many of my past videos. But just like a chocolate cake can't just be made out of one egg, your strategy can't just stop there. Getting in the engagement from top creators is a necessity, but so is aiming to increase your network every single day. So what I mean by this is you need to find people who will bring you up too, not just get your engagement and then move on. Like, you need to find people that connect with you, resonate with your content, and then they can push you higher in the content algorithm game that we're playing in LinkedIn. So for a profile like Anita's, we need to find more marketeers or people who are adjacent to her industry, connect with them and start conversations with them. This indicates to the algorithm who to feed her content to on the feed. And this is how we hack the algorithm. Doing exactly this indicates to the algorithm who to feed her content to on the feed, which then allows us to hack the LinkedIn feed and the algorithm so she can start being shown to the right people, increasing her chances of her well-written post finding the right people. It's simple, but most people fail because it's too long. But so is waiting for your overpriced ads to work, so is waiting for the referrals to come through. The thing with commenting is that the comments compound over time, and after a few months or even years later, this isn't an issue anymore. It becomes automatic because you've gained positioning. How bad do you want it is the question, because subpar efforts lead to subpar results. People will spend thousands of hours and days and years writing content that never gets seen because they try to cut corners. Yet these corners are what attributes to the greatest gains. And just to remind you, I'm not making this up. LinkedIn creator managers encourage users worldwide to do this commenting thing every single time. The second mistake is engaging with people who aren't a content profile fit. Let's say I'm in finance and I'm engaging with someone like Dan Go. Dan is a fitness guy with people who follow him for his fitness. And again, I'm in finance and marketing. This is not a fit. His content isn't, nor his followers. So my efforts here on engaging and connecting with people like him would be wasted, and it would give me a false negative telling me that, oh, engagement doesn't work for my profile. But the moment I start engaging with someone like Oana, who is a killer in her game, suddenly engagement starts converting because the content is in front of the right audience. I'll then magically start seeing faster traction in leads and results because suddenly I am in the right bubble now. I'll either get them over to my page, bringing me their distribution, or I'll find new people to engage with, as the algorithm will then feed me similar content from similar accounts. It's like magic. And back to the chocolate cake analogy that I used earlier, we find the right ingredients. That's how we make a 10 out of 10 cake. And I like chocolate cake, okay? Now, the third and last critical step most people miss is their positioning. You must pick a lane. Stop trying to be your own niche. This entire thing about becoming the niche or being the niche or the fact that you are the niche is keeping you broke and stuck. You can't be all of it at once, especially if you are at the start. Before you become the niche, you need to figure out your monetizable positioning. So here's a formula that you can use. What do you want to be hired for? What are you specifically great at? And who is demanding your service or product? Some examples: helping women save $10,000 a year without doing X. This is better than financial advice for C-suites. Another example would be helping introverts go viral without dancing on TikTok. This is better than content coach. Lastly, helping e-commerce brands recover 25% of lost sales via email flows. This is better than email marketing experts. And all of this doesn't just go on your headline, it spills throughout your content. Let me take the last example as a draft so I can rewrite it for you and you can see exactly what I mean. So this is the niche that we're going for. Excuse my helping e-commerce brands recover 25% of lost sales via email flows. Okay, so that is the main thing. He or she is an email expert. So for this, we're gonna hop onto Clio and we're gonna try and test if we can actually write a post using the tool. So I've just said I want to write for my niche, helping e-commerce brands recover 25% of lost sales via email flows. Please give me 10 post ideas and hooks to write plus a listicle so I can draft it. So I've prompted it correctly so it can give me the hooks that I want, because that's gonna initiate the idea, and then bullet points so I know what to put inside of the post, because usually here's where people just lose it, and this is where blank page syndrome starts, and procrastination and all of these things. So I've gotten it to give me 10 post ideas based on different types of pain points, frameworks, and strategies that Clio has inside. So problem, story, contrarian hooks, data hooks, whatever. So I want to use, let's say, this one, the framework hook, which is pretty much my style. So I've got the perfect hook style from Clio, which is based on authority, relevance, and positioning. The authority comes in after helping 50 plus e-commerce brands, right? Then the solution, or more so positioning as someone that can solve problems, comes with the recover lost sales, because that's what potentially their clients are looking for, like finding the perfect way of how to stop the problem, which for them is recovering lost sales, and then to give value and to incentivize people to read more and also perceive him or her as the authority. Then we're giving a 5-step email sequence that converts 25% of abandoned carts back to purchases. And then after this, ideally, our email copywriter would then write the step-by-step framework. By the end of the whole process, we should have something like this. I'm not an email pro, so don't take this advice, but this is exactly how I would write it Again, the formatting is not that necessary, especially if the steps are longer. Obviously, they will be, like this won't be that short, but just for brevity, I just kept it short. So basically, the TLDR is we need to position you as the authority. How do we do that? We give either a case study or some sort of like resonance. So your ideal client can be like, okay, this makes sense. I want to read more. And then I built a system that works like clockwork. Okay, please show me the system. That's what people are going to be thinking about. And then what is a system? Then we're solving that question as well. Oh, it's a 5-step email flow. Okay, it is very tangible for me. I want to implement it. What is it? And you give away the whole framework, 100% of it, not 99, not 98. 100%. Because realistically, even if you give away your full playbook, people want to implement it. That's why they pay people like you to implement it. Like, people don't pay for the information, they pay for the implementation, right? So give it away all for free, or at least 99%, but ideally 100%. And then at the end, we're gonna end with something that kind of ties everything up. So most brands wait too long to follow up. Others send weak messages that don't convert. This fixes both. So we're like establishing, like we're hitting hard. It's like, I just solved your problem, now hire me. And then at the end, I'm adding some sort of like engagement bait so people can actually comment more. And then your post can be seen by more people, etc. Be seen in different feeds. Someone else are gonna like it. Maybe someone's friends comment on this, they see it, it increases engagement, and so on and so forth. Your post starts doing better, and then we love it for you. You become a LinkedIn legend, and you come back and thank me. Perfect. Done. Now you understand how LinkedIn strategy actually works right now, but you want to learn how to write content fast using AI? Then watch this video where I broke down exactly how you can create content using AI. You've got the strategy, now let's get to the content. See you there.